Skeds, it's the Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Now what an absolutely beautiful autumnal day it is. The weather lately has been pretty poor. It's been very foggy around here. Where I live is sort of on the top of a hill in the Chilterns, and hence we get a lot of low cloud and fog this time of year. But it cleared this morning, and it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, and it's turned into an absolutely beautiful day, and just too good to not come out on the bike and do a bit of bog standard vloggage for you. It really is a spectacular day today. It's not only has the fog cleared up and it's turned into a lovely sunny day, but it's also very warm for the time of year. I'm recording this in the afternoon of the 31st of October. Normally you'd expect it to be about, I don't know, 8 to 10 degrees if you're lucky, but actually it's 18 today, which is unusual. And I just saw a weather forecast on the TV news. Apparently it's 21 degrees and people are on the beach in Cornwall, which is just nuts. But it's going to be very short-lived. Frost is forecast for Wednesday, and it's going to get a lot colder, so got to make the most of it to take it out. So that's what I'm doing, that's why I'm out here. The other reason is, of course, it is autumn, which is a glorious season, let down by the fact that winter is right after it, and I get a bit depressed with the dark nights. We have changed the clocks now, we're working on GMT now, so it gets dark at sort of 5 o'clock-ish, which is very depressing. But the upside this time of year, when you get a sunny day like this, is the leaves are absolutely splendid, and it looks fantastic around the Chilterns. So just a little ride around with no particular theme other than just have a look at a few trees and see how beautiful the leaves are. Because we haven't had a frost on them yet, they're perhaps not quite at their peak. But certainly as I've been around and about today doing my chores, I have noticed there's some lovely trees around, and I thought it'd be great to come out and show you them. The other thing that's a little bit different about today's film, that I'm hoping you may have noticed, gosh, look at those trees up there, lovely, a bank of different colours. Yeah, the other thing that's different is, for the first time, I'm using my new GoPro HD Hero 4, which I used to use, or still do use, the HD Hero 2s. I've got 2 of those, that's what I've done all my other vlogs on. But I've been watching other people's films and noticed so many people now are filming in 60 frames a second, and they just look so much more clear and sharp and smoother. And I thought that I should take the plunge and go 60 frames a second too. So I bought this about a week or so ago. I've done a few tests. I may have even published a few test videos by the time you see this, I don't know. Just to see how the thing works, and made a few errors because the first couple of tests were flying videos, and although I recorded them in 60 frames a second, I forgot to render them as such. Now what happens if I go up this way? Let's give it a try. Bryant's Bottom, now that's somewhere that's got to be worth visiting. Bryant, that is not Brian's, that's Swanwicket. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, bought this camera, did a test in the aeroplane, took what I thought was quite a nice film, but then I rendered it at 30 frames a second, so it didn't look any different by the time it made YouTube, which was a shame. That was a private one, so you won't have seen that. I've stopped publishing my flying videos, by the way, because no one ever watched them, so if you're new to the channel and you didn't know why I'm called the Mr. Fly, it's because originally I started posting videos of me flying like aeroplanes. But anyway, that's another story. So I hope this camera's showing the scene nice and sharp and in glorious 60 frames per second. It's going to take a bit more processing on the PC and a bit longer to upload, but hopefully the result will be worth it. Now, of course, what I didn't appreciate when I bought the camera, well, I did know about it, but I hadn't fully thought it through, was that GoPro changed the way in which they connect the microphones to cameras. I think between the Hero 2 and 3, they swapped from a normal jack socket, which is what I'm used to and have been using, to one of those mini USB sockets. And it's a bit hit and miss buying third-party mics that will plug into them, or adapters. GoPro do make an adapter, but they're very expensive, sort of 30 or 40 quid just for a little 6-inch lead. And actually now, because the Hero 3 that I'm using is not actually the current camera, they've just brought out, sorry, the 4 that I'm using now isn't the current camera, they've just brought out the 5. Trying to get hold of the adapter lead is proving quite difficult, so it's taken me until now to actually get some audio. Oops, going a little bit quick, let's slow down, sorry, 30 through here. So used to get carried away. What amazing trees though through here. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, so I managed to get myself a microphone adapter, which I just bought a cheapo one from eBay, and there were very mixed reviews. Some people said it was great, much better than spending 30 quid on a GoPro one. Some people said don't buy it, it doesn't work. So we'll see. If you're watching this, it means it did work and I lucked out. So we'll see. I did manage to track down a real life proper GoPro one, which I paid about 25 quid for, and that is on its way to me. So if this doesn't work, hopefully the real GoPro one certainly will. So we'll see. So it's not only is it a test of the picture quality this time, but also a test of the audio quality, whether you can hear me okay. Look at these leaves in the sunshine. How glorious is that? One of the great things about living in this part of the UK, I'm in South Buckinghamshire, but I mean looking at here, I could be in the Highlands of Scotland, couldn't I, somewhere? But one of the beauties of living around here is the fact that you do have such a variety of trees. So this time of year in the autumn, or the fall as our American cousins would call it, you get to see some really lovely sights. So I don't really know where I'm going to go, I'm just riding around randomly. We'll see what we see. Feeling a little slippery under tyre actually. I'm not on any loose leaves here that can be treacherous this time of year, but it's a little bit damp, and occasionally I'm feeling the back squiggling around. And of course my street triple doesn't have any fancy traction control or anything like that. Oh, let's go up this way. So I have to be pretty careful if it is wet or slippy on the road, so I'll be off in a trice if I'm not careful. When the sun hits these leaves. As I say, it's been foggy of late, and although the trees have looked lovely, it doesn't half make a difference when the sun's on, so I just had to come out today, because I think it's probably the last of the sunny days now, to come and show you some of these leaves. I'm sure if you're watching this from New England or somewhere, this is nothing special, but if you're in a country where you're blessed with lovely weather all the time, you perhaps don't have autumn as such, and therefore don't get to see these, so hope it's nice for you to look at. I see it every year and I still like it. This is the sort of ride in the street triple was invented for already. Just sort of back lane scratching, nothing too boisterous, but just enjoying the view and enjoying the sensation that the bike gives you. It sounds fantastic as well. I hope you can hear that with this new mic setup. Oh, actually this road many years ago, well not that many years ago, about 20 years ago, I had a TVR Chimera, which is a big V8 sports car, fantastic vehicle. It was green, and in the autumn I remember I came up and parked it just up here and took a picture looking back, managed to get some sun on it, and it ended up getting published as the TVR Car Club's cover picture. So that was quite fun. Still got a copy of that magazine somewhere with my car on the front. It'll be interesting to see actually how this new GoPro copes with the sun beaming straight into the lens, or whether everything is just silhouetted, or whether it actually makes a bit of a job of putting out some of the colours. Even my eyes aren't putting out some of the colours, so I'll be surprised if it does. I'm just in the process at the moment actually of taking a little sabbatical from work, just in case you think I've been posting quite a few videos of late and I seem to have a lot of time on my hands. That's because, relatively speaking, I have, because I'm not working at the moment. I've just decided to take some few months out to enjoy life a bit, and this exactly was the sort of thing I had in mind doing when I made that decision. Of course, to my viewers across the pond, of which I know there are a few of you, autumn means nothing. It's the fall there, and I have to say the fall sort of makes more sense, doesn't it, really? I know the Americans pinched our language, or rather we took it with us when we colonised America, or the US, what it is now. But the fall does make more sense, doesn't it? Because of course the leaves fall. What the heck does autumn mean? Doesn't mean anything to me. It sounds sort of Johnny Foreigner to me. It's probably a French word or something. Turns out there are quite a few words that we use in England now that are actually based from French words that never made it across the pond. So things like, an interesting one that I always like is pavement. Of course the Americans call it a sidewalk, We call it pavement, and we think that's the correct English name, which it is. If you're in England, we all call it a pavement. But in fact, pavement is a French word, pavement, presumably, and what the Americans call it, sidewalk, is the original Old English word. So when the founding fathers went across the US, they called it a sidewalk because that was what it was in English then. So in fact, the US usage is the correct usage. Who would have thought it, eh? And is in fact an Old English word. Now, can I get by this bus? Let's have a little looky. Not while it's indicating, I'm not. What a shame, because this is a lovely road up here. What have we got? Nothing behind. Yeah. Wonderful. Another glorious tree. Said it before and I'll say it again, you cannot beat Blighty when the weather's nice. Look at this, absolutely stunning. Just coming into High Wycombe now, and on my right is Hewenden Park. And I've noticed in the last few weeks or months there's a sign there. It's a little green sign we just passed. That's the sign that broadcasters and filmmakers use when they're using outside broadcast locations or film locations. So I suspect, and there's been a lot of those dotted around here recently, I suspect they're using Hewenden Manor there, which is a National Trust property, to film a new period drama, the next Downton Abbey or whatever. Well, not Downton obviously, but something of that ilk. Yeah, I suspect it's being filmed at the moment because it is an amazing parkland. I mean, who said High Wycombe was horrible? Possibly me actually, but this particular part, very nice. Unfortunately, with the sun in our face, you can't really see it, but there are some amazing autumn colours, fall colours, to be seen in that park. What a shame I can't ride the CRF over it. I suppose you can, but you only do it once. What is this blue car doing? Did I not have the right of way? Thank you. That's it, and now stop there. Thanks for that. It's probably time I stopped and took a little snap for the thumbnail to go with this video. Right over here. Let's see if I can do something here. What a glorious spot. Perfect day for a bit of biking. Lovely. So I hope the sound and the video on this film is coming out okay, and this camera and its 60 frames per second loveliness is working out okay. If you're watching it, I assume it has done. Oh, and this is Hewenden Park that I mentioned, which is a bit of haven of lovely tranquility and loveliness in High Wycombe. Check out these trees. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, back to the bike. Things to do, places to go, people to see. It's really fab to be out on the little street triple again. Every time I ride it, I sort of relearn how brilliant it is. It's just so smooth. I've been riding the Ducati quite a lot recently, which is a bike I love, but it couldn't be accused of being a smooth ride really. I suppose it's smooth for a twin, but compared to the triple in here, or on here, this is just a joy. And it's got loads of go. These bikes are not slow. So just coming into the charming little town, or is it a village? I'm never quite sure which, of West Wycombe. I suppose it's a town, which I think is unfortunately named because it has the word Wycombe in the title, and generally speaking most people regard High Wycombe as a pretty horrible place. Sorry if you live there, but you know what I mean. There's West Wycombe here, absolutely beautiful. And it is the location of the next place that I just want to show you, because you can get a bit of a view up here. Right, we're going up here. This takes us to the top of the hill, and there's a church on the top of the hill, and a mausoleum. But on the right here, up here on the left, we're just about to pass, is the entrance to what's called the Hellfire Caves. And it's a cave system that's cut into the side of that hill, goes underneath the church on the top. It's just there, that's the entrance to it. And you can go in there, it's obviously open to the public, there's a little tea shop there, it's all very nice. And the caves stretch for hundreds of metres into the hill, underneath the church. And there's a big cave underneath the church, I think it's about 200 metres under it. And that's said to be where hell starts, and years ago that's where the Hellfire Club used to meet, and all sorts of general debauchery used to go on there. And then the church above on the top of the hill, which has a big golden ball on the top, known to local pilots as the Golden Ball, because it's something you can see from miles around. That church is supposed to represent heaven. But anyway, the reason I'm coming here has nothing to do with the Hellfire Club, or indeed going to church, which is not something I do voluntarily, but it's because you can get a nice view from the top here. So I'm hoping we can finish this little pointless vlog, or autumnal vlog, with a bit of a view. So let's see what we can see. Probably doesn't show up very well on the GoPro. Let's see if I can get a bit nearer. Actually, you can't see it very well from here. You really need to be at the top of the church. But you get an idea, that's High Wycombe itself, below that helicopter, and the surrounding valleys. Actually, the view's probably better from here. Again, who would believe you're just 30 miles from the centre of London? You don't always appreciate where you live, do you? But the Chilterns really is a lovely part of the country. If you're going to be in the southeast of England, then be around here. Right, time to wend my way home. Through here, absolutely gorgeous. Wait, thank you. The skid marks up Cop Hill. Some fun and games up here recently. It was the Cop Hill climb about a month ago. All manner of cars went up here, old and new, ranging from some 100-year-old cars to supercars of today. As this hill, once upon a time, unbelievably, was part of the International Grand Prix circuit. Dark through here, but be interested to see how the camera does in low light. So that's about it for this random ride through the Chilterns. Hope you've enjoyed the autumnal views. I certainly have. It's been a gorgeous afternoon for a ride, and I hope the 60 frames per second has come out okay as well, and the audio as well. If you're watching this, then that kind of implies it has. And I look very much forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, this has been the Missing and Fly. Cheerio.